Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Logic Speak podcast. I'm your host, Adam Bieber. That is Jason Etheridge. Jason, welcome back to our show.
Do you like how I'm sporting Atlanta Braves attire?
It feels like baseball is in the air.
Oh, I can't wait.
I cannot wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get to go to games together this year.
That we are.
And I just hope that we win more than we lose.
I hope we win more than we did last year, that's for sure.
Probably more than we won last year. Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, as per our new tradition,
Yep.
We're starting with an icebreaker.
That you forced on me, this tradition that you are.
That has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Here's the question for today. Totally unrelated to our topic, but just to get to know you a little bit better. If you had a completely free weekend with no obligations, how would you spend it?
And no family? Just me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I was going to say, let's say Jen and the kids are out of town.
Yeah, perfect.
It's just you.
So it wouldn't be chores around the house, guaranteed.
Amen.
I would probably order every meal, or, and then I would just probably watch movies.
Nice.
I wish for a better answer.
That's not bad, though.
But that's much.
Probably what you need.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. Just, I'd pull out some old classic movies.
Yep.
Watch some new movies on Netflix or Apple TV.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
This weekend, my wife's at a conference, and so I'm already planning what I'm going to do with my free time. And we start baseball practice this week.
Awesome.
So I'm excited about that. So I've set up dinner with some of my buddies. And then it's so funny. If she ever goes out of town, I'm good for one solid Chili's triple dipper DoorDash to my house at 11 p.m. I might be having a personal movie marathon. And I'm you know what sounds really, really good right now? What would totally slap is a triple dipper. It's not often that I do that, but I'm good for it.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, so throw that into the mix if
okay.
you get to.
Maybe we can coordinate our free weekends, and then we'll just.
There we go.
I'll bring my food. You bring your food.
We spoke about a movie. I think it's Tropic Thunder. We said we're not going to do a viewing on the show, but you and I need to have a movie night and watch Tropic Thunder.
All right, I'm in.
Hysterical.
Done.
All right, let's jump into today's topic. You ready?
Yep.
Today's a little bit more tactical and related to our business, but I think it's very valuable because I think there's things that even if you don't work at an IT company, you can learn from.
Right.
So we're going to paint a bigger picture here, but we're going to use Logic Speak kind of as the example.
Okay.
And I think you can take some of these principles and adopt them into your own world, your own business, your own company.
Sure.
To whatever that looks like. And so today's topic is the 3 things that every IT company has to get right. Now, in the industry, we call ourselves MSPs, Managed Service Provider. Mm-hmm. But people that are not MSPs don't call them MSPs.
That's correct.
And so I'm not going to use that term, or if it happens to come out a little slip here and there, that's what that means. But I want to try to say an IT company or an IT and cybersecurity service provider. Oftentimes companies will outsource their IT to us. And so that's kind of what we're talking about is the type of companies like Logic Speak. There's tons of really good ones in the area, but this is just what you've identified kind of sets them apart.
Yep.
So the top 3 things every single one has to get right. You've used this example before in multiple scenarios, the 3-legged stool. Mm-hmm. It baffled me as to why that was an analogy until I heard you say something about well, if you kick one of the legs out, what's going to happen? And I was you're for sure going to fall over.
If you want, we can have a demonstration.
Right now, I'm on a stool. No, but talk a little bit about that. Really good things come in 3s. This idea is kind of a 3-part, 3-legged stool.
For whatever reason, I love this concept of 3s, this idea of triads, the 3-legged stool, the Trinity, triangle, all of it. Mm-hmm. There's so many good uses of those illustrations, and everyone who knows my lists and mind maps and things knows that I love bullet points at 3s, just for that kind of completeness. But yeah, to your point, there's an inherent partnership in 3s. Right. We talk about here at the Logic Speak love triangle of service delivery and relationship, what we're going to talk about today. Works. It shows up a little differently in our company, but I think there's so much that we can learn from the partnership.
Yep.
Or this kind of completeness.
I've heard you say that you can't compensate for a weak area or a missing leg by having a stronger other leg. Like it doesn't matter how fortified one of the legs is.
Think about that. If you have a leg, big leg, and then you're kind of leaning sideways, you're gonna fall off the stool.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's such a good analogy. It clicks. It makes sense. So let's talk about our three-legged stool, or what you just said, our Logic Speak love triangle.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a lot of fun and spicy. Good for the algorithm.
Hopefully,
on YouTube.
that's probably the most spicy we've ever been.
Which is a miracle, to be honest.
Right. That's straight.
Number one is service delivery.
Yes.
So delivering the product or service that you're intended to. For
Correct.
us, it's our IT service delivery model.
Well, I think a lot of times, as we have companies years and years, and try to find ways to be different and new, where some companies head off into the ditch, to quote our friend Andre, where companies head off into the ditch is that we forget that we still have to do the thing. We still have to make the thing happen, and it still is a requirement. It's and probably what I would use is foundational. And for us, our service delivery model, we still have to fix computers. We still have to keep people working. We still have to keep computers patched and all those things.
Sure.
And so if we try to get so cutesy that we forget to do the day-to-day, that we forget to show up when things are broken and forget to fix things that are broken, we don't get to do the other things, right?
Yep.
That's the one leg that falls out from under us. And so I had a client once upon a time, he was talking about another IT company, and it was a prospective client, and he was basically saying, like, they want to do all these great things about being proactive, and they want to do all these projects, but they can't set my computers up correctly. So you kind of got to get that right first.
Yeah.
And so that was a perfect illustration to me of service delivery, of fixing what breaks, of making sure that IT just works.
Yeah.
Right.
And in different industries, there's different models, there's different frameworks. What are we striving toward here at Logic Speak? Because by no means in us unpacking this are we trying to proclaim that we're perfect in any way. No. We are striving toward this. This is a good bullseye for us. But what are we striving toward?
Well, I mean, if you look at our core values, one of the things we're striving toward is continuing to improve, improving not only how we do things, but also our clients' networks, our clients' computers, our clients' IT services.
Yep.
That every day that passes, that we would make them a little bit better, and that they would be more reliable, they would be more efficient, and our clients would be more productive.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's great. We use some frameworks internally that are more tactical. Would you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yeah. No. One of so every company, every IT company, or every technical company has a service delivery methodology.
Yep.
Whether you focused on it or not, or whether you created it on purpose or not, you have one.
Sure.
And for years at Logic Speak, it was I kind of called it the three bears approach. Some of our technicians would agree to take too many tickets. Some of them would just cherry pick one here and there, and then some of them would have just the right amount, just like three little bears. And so we realized the need for a service delivery methodology, and the one that we've created, we did with a consultant years and years ago, and it was based on software development and the agile software development methodology.
Cool.
So there's a lot of parallels in how we do IT and agile service delivery. And so that's ultimately what we created is our agile service delivery methodology. And really what it allows us to do is to ensure predictable results and consistency with our clients, and that they would have a consistent experience.
Yeah. My first exposure to agile was in the show Silicon Valley.
Nice.
when they were like building the app and all the things that they were doing. But it's really neat. It's very technical and like you said, it's kind of created for another in the software development space, but the principles align. And so when we can take and use those principles to not just make things go faster, but to follow a process that's repeatable and executable, it helps you be more accurate too, which I think has been helpful too.
Yeah.
You ready to go to the next one?
Sure.
Okay. So the next stool leg in our love triangle at Logic Speak is security, minimizing risk.
Yeah.
We can't eliminate it, but we can work to minimize it.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about security at a high level.
Yeah. Well, I think it's unfortunate in our day and age, but security is not going away.
Yeah.
It's kind of a race. The good guys win a little while. The bad guys will figure out a new way to get to our clients. And then, it's just an arms race, right? And so as an MSP, security, we have become, the way that we talk about it, we have become a security first MSP or a security first IT company.
Yep.
We are not security. That's not all we do. We are not an MSSP, which is another industry. But we bake security into everything that we do. We think about security as we're rolling out new projects. We think about security as we're meeting with prospective clients and asking them about how they do things and how things work. Because you have no other choice these days. And so if you're not thinking about security, it's not a matter of if I'm going to get hacked or if I'm going to be breached or if I'm going to get ransomware. It's a matter of when. One quote that I love, one of our clients years ago said, I don't need to focus on security. We're not Fort Knox. Nobody's trying to break in to steal my money. And I said, oh, contrary. Yes, they are.
Yeah. In fact, it's because you're not Fort Knox.
That's exactly right.
That makes
because
you
are
target.
small and you don't focus on security. And so what people want to get to is your data. They want to hijack you. They want to make you pay. And so we see that all the time. A lot of times we'll get new clients because they have been compromised and their IT company didn't show up well or wasn't there to help fix things. And there's a lot we could talk about there. It's security is so important that it's one of our foundational things, one of our stool legs, I should say.
Before a little industry history, just for our listeners, recently the industry has evolved. Mm-hmm. And so historically there was IT support folks and then there was the cyber folks, and they were compartmentalized. And it seemed like the right move to keep those separated, a little separation of church and state, a little, not too much overlap. But what happened, especially COVID times, is people went to work at home. There was this remote thing. Then all of a sudden, cybercrime just skyrocketed. And as a result, IT companies became more responsible for solving the security problems. And then what's true is all the support tools and softwares that we use to execute our job well had to start integrating cybersecurity into these tools.
For sure.
So it's been a slow evolution, and as we've done it, we've become more proficient and more comfortable with that practice.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it begs saying, our bullseye on the wall for security is to increase your security posture and minimize your risk.
Yes,
we can't eliminate risk, but if I can keep security in front of client employees, if they can short circuit the process of clicking on a malicious link or of typing in their password in a website it doesn't belong in.
Yeah.
If I can, it's about 6 seconds, right? That if I can short circuit the brain for 6 seconds by keeping security top of mind, by security awareness training, which we provide to our clients. If I can put a moat in front of the castle, if I can have a drawbridge, those kinds of examples, then we can increase a client security posture and help them to be able to minimize their risk.
Yeah. And in today's day and age, security is not just a bolt-on.
No.
And if you feel like you're being treated like it's a bolt-on or it's just not clear or integrated enough, it's something worth looking at.
Yeah.
Because it's not just an add-on or, just a bonus feature. It needs to be fully integrated and woven into the strategy of how you're operating with your technology, how you're securing your data, how you're what's the protocol if there is an incident, if there is some type of event.
And I think it also begs saying that, a lot of times we hear, we want to be secure, but we don't want it to be painful.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's going to be painful one way or the other. Do you want it to be painful in kind of your lost productivity and downtime and your proprietary information getting out in the wild, those kinds of things, or
potential lawsuits,
potentially shutting down your business, or do you want it to be painful in taking a 20 to 30 minute cybersecurity question or test, watching a video and taking a few questions, and then maybe refreshing, once every couple of weeks with some micro trainings.
Yeah, and investing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not cheap. So you have to be willing to invest in security as a necessary part of your overall technology strategy. Again, not a nice to have, but truly a need to have.
Yeah. It's why we have locks on our doors, I think, at home and on our cars.
Yeah. I was just visiting with my in-laws. They have them. They don't use them. Everybody leaves their door unlocked. They're
honestly, growing
town.
up, we didn't either.
Yeah.
We were in Gwinnett County, in rural Gwinnett County, and we didn't lock our doors.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's almost an oxymoron now if you're familiar with the area.
Right.
Rural Gwinnett County is not a common thing. That's awesome, though. Yeah. No, it makes total sense. Security is so important, and honestly, it's the prioritization. The reason why it's become a standard and a baseline for us is we want to minimize your risk. We want to bolster your security posture, but also like we know that it's going to make it harder for other people to get into your things and make it a better relationship for us to help manage all the other technology components that we don't want to take on a client who's not going to be as secure as the baseline of our clients.
As an IT service company, we couldn't be a good steward of our clients' infrastructure and our clients' IT and not talk about security.
That's what I was trying to say. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the stewardship of the relationship. And that actually brings me to our third leg in the stool of the love triangle, and it's relationships.
Yep.
To me, relationships are actually the biggest differentiator for us in our space. Yeah. What's your high level take on the value of relationships and why that's a key leg in our stool?
I mean, you've heard me say this before. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I oftentimes will say we are a relationship company. We're not an IT company. We're a relationship company, and we happen to do IT.
Yep.
And that's how importantly we view the partnership that we have with our clients. And you can't have a partnership. You can't be in relationship with anyone without communication, without communicating, without fostering and cultivating that relationship. So to me, relationship is everything.
Yeah. And
then we can do the work. Then we can do all the things that we do together with our clients.
Yeah.
It's that important.
It is. It's so important. It's like I said, a differentiator. It's the thing that people know us for.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that it's one of the things I'm most proud of when it comes to our brand and how we show up for folks. I mean, we talk a lot about our backyard strategy. We talk a lot about the people that we're linking arms with that are doing incredible things in the community. Yeah. And it all comes back to building relationships because it's never going to be perfect.
No.
Like when technology's in the mix, when it's an IT related issue, whether it be security or just user related issues, it's never going to be perfect in terms of no issues.
Yeah. One story about this. So this year in April will be our 22nd anniversary.
That's right.
For our 20th, which was right when you started, we did some interviews with some of our clients.
Yeah.
We wanted to put some on, on a video that we were producing, but also we just wanted to celebrate, kind of the progress and the relationships that we had with our clients. And so we asked a lot of our clients some questions, got some feedback, put some of them on the screen. And overwhelmingly, the thing that we heard woven throughout the stories about the relationships that we had with our clients is they said overwhelmingly, yes, you guys do IT and you do a great job in all the things, but all of your people are kind. Mm-hmm. All of your people care. All of your people, show up well. And there's you don't have jerks that work at your company and that we don't ever want to talk to. And I to me, that's just kind of puts a fine point on or showcases how much we value the relationships that we have with our clients, is that's what they would say about us, mm-hmm. that above all, we're kind.
Yeah.
Which really warmed my heart.
So much so
mm-hmm.
that it's a core value to lean in and care
to care for people. Right.
And
exactly.
So we lean in, we care for you. That the result is because there's a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so talking about it is great. Having the vision for it is great, but structure has to be put around it in order to make it a true part of the culture.
Yeah.
One thing that I love that we do that not a lot of people know about, it's not really like something we put on a banner on the website or anything, but when you are a client of LogicSpeak, you have a relationship manager. You
mm-hmm.
have a CSM assigned to your account. That CSM is not incentivized to sell.
Yep.
And that's done intentionally. And actually, one of the first things I asked was, well, is that person incentivized to sell? Me thinking it might even be a good idea because there's upsell opportunities and you want to incentivize the right things. But the intentionality to not do it is because we want that person to bring clear, level-headed suggestions that don't impact their paycheck, so to speak.
We've heard from prospective clients as we're winning and talking to clients that every time their account manager reached out, it was always to tell them about a new service or to sell them something new.
Yeah,
and that just turns people off. And I've heard the phrase, that UIT people are used car salesmen.
Yeah,
talked about
gross.
Other and so we wanted to be the antithesis of that, the opposite of that, so that when our CSM shows up, that you're actually happy to see them, and that it's more about the relationship that we are cultivating rather than the services that we're pushing or trying to offer. That kind of thing.
We really just want it to be so that it is a no-brainer and it's easy for you to pick up the phone and call us.
Yeah.
We want to be involved. We want to help solve problems. There are times where we're going to bring solutions that collectively have maybe been discussed internally that do not affect our revenue.
For sure. Absolutely.
And that's intentional. Like, we just want what's best for our clients, and we want them to be in the best position possible. Sometimes it's them going from a self-hosted solution to an application that's now cloud-based, and it's a lot easier for them.
Yep.
We don't get a kickback. We don't get any type of monetary bump for that. What we're doing is we're building trust and value in the relationship with our client that shows them, hey, we truly care for you.
Yeah.
We're leaning into you, not expecting you to keep up with us.
Yep.
And I just think it's such a big it's undervalued in terms of where it stands on the level, especially in the technical space. That is just as crucially important as service delivery and security.
Agreed.
So let's wind down here. We do this because it's part of who we are. It's part of our core values. It's part of our culture, but it's also true to who you are. Going back to your personal mission statement, you were put on this planet to serve people.
Yep.
And so that's how you serve people well. Any closing thoughts on just this triangle that we have here and why it's so important to us?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think it comes back to our mission statement, that triangle is baked into our mission statement, to use our abilities and technology, what we know how to do, and the solutions we can provide to actually have a positive impact on the lives of our clients, employees, and community.
Yep.
So I think the triangle really comes from that. And so security seems like a little bit of a non sequitur, but what better way to have a positive impact than to keep people safe?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So all three of those things that we talked about today really are in service of the mission of LogicSpeak.
Yeah.
Which I think for all companies, that what you do should be reflected in why you're here.
Yep. And how you do it.
Yeah.
I think it's great because it is not a siloed application only designed for IT companies. There's probably a handful that we're in the community with, or that are in peer groups with you, that may be tuning in and listening to this, and we hope it encourages that motion. Sure. But also we want everyone that listens to this to go, okay, what's my contribution? What does it look like for our company, or what does it look like for my role? Just start with your own self and look at, okay, can I deliver my services better? Well, that's just showing up and being an employee that follows that lives by values. Can I the security piece, just relate that to like the tactical execution of your job. Right. Like, can I set goals and accomplish them and make incremental feedback or incremental process improvement and things like that. And then relationships, like how am I nurturing the people that I work with, the people that work for me, the people that I work for, all of that. Like, there's so much application here.
I mean, I think for any services business, doesn't matter the industry, if you're in the services business, not a product business, your capital is relationships. That is how you're known. That's how you will be remembered, is ultimately the relationships that you built with your clients, the partnership. Yes, the service has to be there. The service has to be rock solid, but it's those relationships, those long-term relationships that you'll have that are the most important thing. Yeah.
I think that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. I know it's more of a in the weeds a little bit of what we do, which it's funny. You started this company and you're so good at it, but on this podcast, you and I prefer to talk about other things.
Yeah.
But I think there's real good applicable business advice and self-leadership advice here. So thank you for sharing, and we appreciate you listening. Keep tuning in with us. We love putting out this podcast, and being with you and hearing your feedback. If you're enjoying the show, would you please hit the subscribe button? It super helps the algorithm that we're working with on YouTube and Spotify and Apple. And then let us know your feedback. We love hearing it. And Jason, it's been fun. We'll be back soon with another episode.
Sounds great. Have a good one.
Yep.